Hey everyone, this is Jacob with Nerd on the Street. This is the first episode in a new little series I've been wanting to do for a while. This is the first Nerd on the Street vlog. So I'm thinking how these are going to go is I'm going to basically just record a little bit about myself and my life, and Kirsten I think is going to maybe attempt to do that as well. Not sure if she's in yet. She might be an episode 2 kind of thing. And anyone in the future who gets involved with Nerd on the Street might start doing this as well. For now, though, the purpose of these vlogs is basically I put a lot of work into Nerd on the Street, and a lot of times I don't really slow down to think about all the work that I'm putting in. And you know, pretty often I ask people to join the Nerd Club to help me make Nerd on the Street a business. I ask that very often. But so far we haven't had a whole lot of people join the Nerd Club. We've only got a handful of members. I can count them on one hand. And basically I figured that it might make people more willing to support me, or more understanding why I'm needing support, if they've got some insight into my day-to-day life. So as you can tell, I'm recording this with a phone camera right now. This is my OnePlus 5T front-facing camera. In the future I might get a vlogging camera. I almost did, but I figured I should probably wait until I've actually got the series established before I go spending money on it. But these vlogs are not going to be the normal professional content that you see from Nerd on the Street. I'm not going to be worrying about lighting. My lamps actually aren't even in this room right now that I normally use in this room. They're actually over at Northwest Electric Company's spare room in their office building that I've been using for displaced recording. And I might show you guys a little insight into that in a future vlog. But yeah, today is Thursday, December 14th. I had to check what day of the week it was because it's been a busy week. Ever since I got my job at school, I've been a little bit more busy. Hard to keep track of everything that I'm doing, everything I have going on, which is another reason I'm starting the vlog. But yeah, I figured these vlogs might give you guys a chance to get to know me more personally. And I'm thinking most of these vlogs are going to be Nerd on the Street Nerd Club only. They will be exclusive to Nerd Club members. All you have to do to be part of the Nerd Club is sign up on Patreon for $3 a month. If you're just thinking about trying it, sign up for 1 month. You know, it's $3 to sign up, and I'll add you to the Nerd Club section of the website. You can see all of the vlogs and all the other Nerd Club content. It's only $3 to try it out for a month. So yeah, I'd encourage you to do that, but this first episode I think I'll put out just for everyone to see so that you guys are aware I'm doing this. And it will take me a little bit to get used to this, because even though I talk to a camera a lot, I don't often talk to a camera informally like this. I talk to myself informally, but not to a camera. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride as I learn how to do this. It's different than anything I've done before. But yeah, like I said, today is Thursday. It is the second to last week of school in the semester for me. Now my school's winter break is only 2 weeks here at the technical college I'm going to, so not very long at all, unfortunately. I've seen my friends from Missouri S&T were already off of school this week, and they don't go back until like a week after I do as well. But yeah, today's Thursday, and I figured I should probably get some stuff done. It's currently 5:50. So almost 6 o'clock p.m. Yeah, I got home around 4:30 because I got off work at 3:30. It takes me about an hour to drive home during the traffic hours. Just had some dinner and checked up on my email, answered some questions. I got a question from somebody asking basically how to use Windows Movie Maker, so I went back and forth with them and showed them how to export their movies so they could actually play it. And now I'm about to record the screencast portion of my FileRun review. So a while back you guys might have seen my FileRun installation video. Now I'm making a full review of it, and in exchange, the developer of FileRun is paying me for a year's worth of DigitalOcean credit. Basically, he's paying me $60 to make a review, which was the agreement that we had agreed upon back earlier this year. So yeah, he has not paid me yet. What I'm going to do is make the video and then let him know it's done, and then ask him to make the payment before I upload the video. That's how I'm going to do that. But yeah, I can't record the actual me talking about it today because, like I said, my lights are gone and I don't want to record in here for a tech video that's not going to be well lit. But yeah, I'm just going to sit down. I'm going to open up my screen recorder, turn my microphone on, which is actually also, as you can see, it's down there on the floor, not exactly hooked up because, yeah, once again, I brought it over to Northwest Electric Company for displaced recording, which is the place that we did our extra live stream this year, if you're wondering where that is. But yeah, that's what's going on right now, about to record that video. So now that we've got a blank folder, let's try uploading a file and seeing what that looks like. In the past, I've also stopped downloads in the middle altogether and then just started the downloads later, and they have resumed partway through, so that is very nice as well. So this after photo, if I double click on that, it'll open up, oh, and that's just a transparent PNG image that was overlaid over the top of the video. So that's what this PNG looks like. I think it works with OGG as well, if my memory serves correctly. So I'm going to upload a WAV file into this folder here. And as you can see, there's drag and drop. All right. That was a waste of time. I just spent 57 and a half minutes recording a video about FileRun. And for whatever reason, so I've got the files here in my home folder, right? Files are right here. This is an 819 byte file. Both of these are 819 byte files. And when I try and open them, nothing, because that's not enough for video to be stored in. You can see here in Audacity that I was recording for 57 and a half minutes. I'm going to X out of that file. I'm going to open up Simple Screen Recorder. Again, Simple Screen Recorder. Now these are my settings that I had set up. I was recording a rectangle of the screen. I was monitoring my audio. You know, everything was normal. I got right here, started the preview like I always did, start recording. Everything looks fine. Preview's going. You know, you can see the preview reflected, so clearly that's working. FPS in, 30. I didn't realize that FPS out was stuck at 0 and total time was at 0. If we click pause recording, you can see these things aren't even numbers. These are question marks. I can click start recording. It looks like it's working because this says 1920 by 1080. The file name is there. It's just not recording anything. If I go over to the files, this is a 0 byte file, still 0 bytes, still 0 bytes. And then I'm going to stop the recording and it goes up to 819 bytes because it writes the end of an empty file. So I just wasted an hour of my day recording a video that was not being recorded because Simple Screen Recorder has never failed me before. Audacity has failed me before by crashing. Simple Screen Recorder has never just not recorded before. It's in the name of the program, Recorder. It has one job, and it didn't do that. I don't understand what is happening here. That does not make any sense to me. That has got to be the biggest problem I've ever had with recording video on Linux since Simple Screen Recorder came out. And I have to re-record that too, because I had an agreement with this guy to make this review. I'm going to open up a terminal here. Bring this over here. Let's do sudo pacman syu. Let's update our system here. Is there a Simple Screen Recorder update available? Alright, there's lots of updates available. Let's see. LMNOPQS. Alright, yeah, there's not even an update for Simple Screen Recorder. These are all of our S updates. There is no update for Simple Screen Recorder. So like I said, don't know why it wasn't recording, but that's the kind of thing I have to deal with sometimes on Linux, and I have to remind myself that it's worth it because it's free, freedom respecting and all that. And now my file browser's not even working. Look at this. I open up Dolphin, it just doesn't even do anything. So, you know, I'm gonna restart my computer now. I'm closing out of all my applications. I'll reboot, and that probably gonna fix everything. This is an example of the stuff you don't see though. This is an example of what you see in the vlogs, and this is a pretty boring thing. You know, I normally, there's a reason I don't show every time something doesn't work. Yeah, reboot button doesn't even work either. Alright, so this computer's restarting behind me. But yeah, this is a pretty boring thing. This won't be the kind of thing that's always in the vlog, just things not working, because that's boring to watch. But sometimes things don't work. Somebody who is less dedicated to free and open software than I am would have gone back to Windows or Mac OS by now. The reason I'm still on Linux, even though this stuff happens, is because I do care about it. So even though it does frustrate me greatly sometimes, that's more than worth it to me to have the great software that I use. I'm sure if you use Linux, you see things just go wrong sometimes. Usually an update and a reboot fixes it on Arch. So yeah, I probably won't record that video again today because I'm pretty burned out and I would have trouble figuring out what I've already talked about and what I haven't. But I will re-record it in a couple days. I just got a text message from Hannah Gallup, the voice actor from Displaced who plays the artificial intelligence Elsa. A few weeks ago, I finished writing Displaced Season 3. I've been reaching out to all the different voice actors from the previous seasons, scheduling times to record their lines with them. And me and Hannah worked out a date that we were going to do next week. And I was particularly trying to get her in over the next couple of weeks because next semester she'll be studying abroad. Don't know where, don't know what she's studying. All I knew was that I needed to fit her into my schedule relatively, sooner rather than later so that we could fit her in before she went off to study. And I just got a text message from her like an hour ago that I just read a few minutes ago. And this is after we've already been going back and forth for like a week to work out this time. She just now today texts, "Really sorry to do this, but I can't voice act for you this season. I just don't have enough time before I fly to Europe to get everything done. I hope this isn't too big of an issue." And the funny thing is that she might go to Europe to study a semester and come back, and we still might be working on Display Season 3 because, like I said, we're doing animation this season and not machinima, so it is going to take a while. So she might end up being in the series anyway. I don't know. This is really a larger issue that's been going on for a while now. I really don't understand how people's time works. This is like the third time in a very short period now that somebody has stopped doing a Nerd on the Street production because they don't have time. If you go back to the Display Season 2 live stream, though, at one point Hannah actually asked a question to fill in some of the silence. She asked,
"So did you guys like doing this?
Did we like voice acting for half an hour?"
And Brett, ever salty Brett, he was referring to the fact that in Displaced, we actually made it more efficient, where I just had one person over to my house at a time for Season 2. Just one person come over, here's a script, read all your lines into a microphone, bye, let you know when it's done. But Brett made that joke about how, compared to everything else, the voice acting is barely involved at all with the production of Displaced. I have stopped believing when people tell me that they don't have time for things. Adam not having time his first semester of university. Literally every couple weeks I would text him and ask if he could record a podcast, and he would always be busy every day, all day, the entire week. How have you been for the past 6 to 8 months since we last spoke, Adam?
A long time. Pretty much the whole time I've been busy, and actually all my free time ended up being devoted to like Netflix or something.
Yeah,
so
see, that's called not productive use of time. I could have been watching Netflix right now, but instead I asked if you wanted to record. The definition of busy is you've got something else going on that is more important than whatever I'm offering. The next 3 weeks doesn't have 2 hours within the next, and I know we've got holidays coming up, but I've got time to sit down and record this. But I am working, and I also am going to college as a full-time student. This is Brett, quote, all day, every single day. And that's what I don't believe. It's not that I don't think people are busy. My family uses Google Calendar. We keep a pretty accurate record of how much time we're spending on things, just as a side effect of wanting to know where each other is. And if you take a look at a week view in a calendar, block out every single thing that you did this week. And you tell me if you've got that week view entirely filled up. If you've got a single block of white space, then you are not busy all day, every single day. Everybody seems to imply this. If you have time for it, but you just don't want to do it, be upfront about it. Just say, I don't want to do that. Or maybe I'm going to study abroad next semester, and over the next 3 weeks, I want to spend as much of my time as possible with my family and close friends because I won't get to see them for another 6 months. That would be an honest answer. Telling me that you don't have 2 hours within a 3-week period, I don't logistically understand how that can be possible. There are people in the world who really don't have a lot of time. And I like to quote Monty Ohm a lot, and he was the lead animator at Rooster Teeth for a while, and then he passed away in 2015. He once said, the only thing that stops us from doing the really cool things is time. And he was somebody, judging by everything that everyone at Rooster Teeth has said about him, he was somebody who personally dedicated every second of his life to making content. Like every waking minute, he would be working on something, on an animation, on a video, on something. And then when he was, en route between locations, going to events and things, he would sleep on the way to the event and he would sleep on the way back from the event so that he could get right back to working when he arrived back. And he passed away at the age of 33, and he still did more with his life than a lot of people do. That's somebody who doesn't have a lot of time, and I don't use my time nearly as efficiently as he did. I look up to him as a role model, and I look up to that kind of lifestyle as an optimal lifestyle that I like to shoot for. But even I waste so much of my time compared to the efficiency and dedication that he had. But here at Nerd on the Street, looking at me compared to the other people who I, in the past, have had do videos with me, it's another night and day difference. At the end of the day, they don't have to make any videos with me at all. I just wish that when people don't want to do videos, they would just say, I don't want to do this video. Because every time somebody tells me that they don't have time, I feel like one of two things must be happening. Either they just don't want to do it, and they just don't want to tell me that they don't want to do it, so they just use the time excuse. Or, alternatively, they do have time and they just don't realize it. They don't realize that they could not watch an episode of whatever show people are watching nowadays on Netflix and instead use that time to do a video. They don't realize that they do have the time if they look at their calendar and do the math. I think some of these people genuinely enjoy helping me with videos. I think they honestly think that they don't have time. They honestly believe that they don't have time. But I know they have time. But yeah, that's where we're at with Display Season 3, and that's where I'm at with getting people to help me make videos. If you want to help me get more time myself to make videos, check the link in the description down below to join the Nerd Club, and let me know what you think about this topic down in the comments section below. For now, though, I think I'm going to go and spend the rest of my time tonight working on Display Season 3 animation. Alright, and I am in my car. Get used to this car, because there will probably be a lot of vlogging going on from in here. Once I find a mount for my phone so I can put it on my GorillaPod on my dashboard. But just wanted to do a quick vlog update. It is Tuesday, December 19th, and I just passed my CompTIA A+ certification. So I'm at my technical college right now. As you can see, that's the automotive building over there. The IT building is that away. But yeah, I just took 2 certification exams. I took the CompTIA 901 exam and the 902, 220, 901, and 902. And those are 2 different exams, so if I was taking this outside of school, like if I was doing this on my own time, normally you would schedule those on different days, but I just took them back to back and didn't even take a break in between. The proctor offered me a break after I got done with the first one. I said I'll just go on to the second one. Whew, yeah. I was pretty confident I was gonna pass. I didn't actually have any concerns about passing, but it's still strenuous and it's always nerve-wracking because it's like, this is included with my tuition here at this school, but if I needed to retake it, it would be $200 per test. And yeah, they're graded on a score from 100 to 900, and the passing grade is 700. Well, the passing grade was 675 on the 901 and 700 on the 902. I scored 831 on the 901 and 810 on the 902. So yeah, this is like I said, A+ exam. Got 2 sets of these for the 2 tests. It's a pretty standard IT certification. Pretty much to get any kind of help desk job, this is the certification for help desk IT. Next semester, I'll be doing Cisco Network Administration, which is going to be much more fun and much more interesting. And next semester, I'll be taking my CCNA exam at the end of next semester. And that'll honestly be a lot more difficult than this, but this is still a big step in the IT world for an IT career. Can't do much without this. So yeah, passed my A+ exam, pretty happy about that. Now I've got a few hours to kill. I wish I could go home right now, but I've got my student worker job here. After my class was scheduled to end, I got to leave as soon as I was done with the test. Then I'll have to come into work later. Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, December 20th, and it is currently 7 o'clock a.m., probably 7:05 today. I am in my car, and I'm about to do something really stupid. I'm bringing my actual huge Lumix FZ1000, my professional camera, with me today, so that I can get some dashboard cam of me driving to school. Now, it is a little bit dark outside. St. Louis is also just naturally dreary. So yeah, not sure how the lighting's gonna be, but yeah, yesterday was the cert test, so today and tomorrow, the last 2 days of school, there's not really much to do in that class because we've already passed the certification, so there's no more studying to be done. That was our final grade as well. And from what I heard, a lot of people failed that actually, so. But yeah, we're having a little bit of a party in class today. You can see I've got a bag of pretzels there that I will be bringing. I just stole from, not this house, but another house. I probably won't eat anything at the party, but you know how those things go. You have to bring something. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around, and yeah, I'll talk a little bit as I'm driving today. So this is the first time I've ever recorded while driving, so not really sure how this is gonna work at all. Hopefully, I'm just hoping my camera doesn't fall off the dashboard. Like I said, it's on a GorillaPod. one of my favorite things to do every morning as we get out of Oakville here and into just South St. Louis is to look at all the buildings that are not currently occupied by businesses through the whole business district. There is a lot of property available in St. Louis, and St. Louis has some of the cheapest property when you're talking about actual cities. Now, I'm sure if I went out to like Wichita, Kansas or something, I could find buildings even cheaper. But yeah, St. Louis property prices, both for homes and for business space, is actually super cheap, super affordable. And a lot of it is run down. But you know, this is, you know, it's pretty early in the morning and I take the same route every day. You know, my car doesn't really have a sound system in it. It literally only has an AM and an FM radio, but I can't like plug in my phone or anything. So I gotta find something to do during the drive. And yeah, one of my favorite things to do is to look at all the places that say for lease or for sale, and to imagine myself purchasing one of those, or you know, taking out a lease on one of those, and having a Nerd on the Street office. I always think, what if I drove here every day to work on Nerd on the Street? Because eventually in life, that's where I want to get to. It's not going to be tomorrow, it's not going to be next year, but you know, eventually that's where I want to get to. So I like to think about that and remind myself why I'm going to school, why I'm trying to get a high-paying job in IT. I try to remind myself, yeah, why I'm doing all these things. So there's some space right there on the right in a strip mall. Now, a lot of this space is retail space, and Nerd on the Street doesn't actually need retail space. What we need are two things. We need office space and warehouse space. So I like to look online at like warehouse offices when I'm window shopping online, because warehouses have a lot of literally space. And that's what you need to make videos. You know, when you're cramped up and you don't have room for lights or for proper tripods or things, it really limits what you can do. So warehouse space is great because I could fit desks in there, I could fit actual equipment, and I could build a real set. With warehouse space. And then of course office space, you know, we don't necessarily need customers coming in to look at things. We don't need customers coming in buying things because we don't sell anything technically. What we do at Nerd on the Street is we produce, publish, and promote video content. So yeah, there's a lot of buildings on the right now. Now some of these are still obviously have functioning businesses in them. I'll point out some of my favorites when we get to them, because there's a select few I really like, but of course I'm sure they'll be taken by the time I'm ready to purchase. So I'm thinking I'm going to call these vlogs, by the way, I'm going to call them the Nerd on the Street Experience. I'm not going to call them Nerd on the Street Vlogs like I was sort of planning to. Nerd on the Street Vlogs was a pretty generic name. It was kind of just the working name, because these are vlogs that Nerd on the Street is doing. But, you know, Rooster Teeth has RT Life, which is about how they live their lives at Rooster Teeth. You get to see a peek into their lives. I think coming up, this building on the right here, that big brick one behind the blue building, is one of the ones that I really like. And we have a stoplight. Yeah, that this brick building here is actually for sale. There's a for sale sign on the other side. That's a big office warehouse. You can't really look over to the right and see it much. And I'm just scrambling here trying to keep recording and keep my camera from falling. We're really getting into space that's got more people in it now. Yeah, this would have been a lot easier if I could find my phone mount, because my big camera here doesn't really even fit on my dashboard very well. Alright, I think that might work. We'll see once we start moving. Alright, light's gonna turn green here. I'm gonna start moving. The question is the camera just going to immediately fall off the dashboard? Yes. The answer to that question is yes. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, Rooster Teeth has RT Life that is about their lifestyle. And that's kind of the thing I want to do with these vlogs. You know, I want to show you my life. I want to show you how I'm living and what I'm doing to do Nerd on the Street, to make Nerd on the Street. So yeah, I'm going to call these the Nerd on the Street Experience. Now this is also a reference to, alright, here's a bunch of bunch of buildings, and a lot of these on the left and right are currently vacant. A lot of them have space available signs. Quite a few of them sporadically are filled in, but just a lot of these on the left here are vacant. And then here's the place where a ton of really annoying trucks are always hanging out. But yeah, if you guys are going to pay basically and help me live my life, I want you to know what that experience is like that you are enabling. And the Nerd on the Street experience is a name that really captures that. Now, I did get the idea from a very popular or semi-popular stream that I watch that has actually aired a couple seasons of Displaced. Their content isn't exactly something I want to put my name behind, so I'm not going to say what that stream is, but I hope they don't mind me using the experience thing. This camera is just falling down. I need like glue to glue the freaking Gorilla Pod to my car. But yeah, these guys have a stream that starts with the blank experience, and they always get super excited when they're introducing their stream. They always say, "Welcome to another exciting episode of the blank experience." And that's kind of, you know, I want to keep the energy up in these vlogs as well, because a lot of times, especially in the last year or so, since I've changed colleges and started working, I've found that I've gotten pretty low energy. And I actually don't like that. I don't like being low energy. I'd rather be high energy and excited about what I'm doing. So a name like the Nerd on the Street experience really pushes me and encourages me to be excited about what I'm doing. So that's where the name Nerd on the Street experience comes from, and that's why I'm using that. See if this helps at all. Yeah, no, it really doesn't. There we go. There we go. I figured out the Gorilla Pod on the dashboard, I hope. Gosh, I'm praying that doesn't fall right now. Okay, looks like I found a semi-stable position, although it's still wobbling a bit. So on the right side here, okay, it's a lot more stable than it was. So on the right side here, like I said, we're gonna see some more of the vacant buildings coming up soon. Let me check on our time here, because I actually did want to get to school on time today as well. 7:30, all right. My class starts at 8. Here's another fork in the road, and I'm going on the left fork. And to the left of me, there's a bank for sale. Don't exactly need that, but you can see on the right, that brick building right there. I mean, that has a for sale sign on it. That's more of just an office/retail space. Of course, the top floor on these buildings would be office space. And Rooster Teeth was actually in one of these for quite a while, one of those on the top floor over a retail business. They were over a sandwich shop for a long time in downtown Austin. So, you know, that's obviously worked for people. Alrighty. And really I should be one lane to the left right now, but the way that the lines are drawn on the road, I'm technically not supposed to be over there when I cross that fork that you just saw me go through. But other people go there anyway. On the right side though, I'm going to stay in this lane for a little while longer because one of my favorite spaces is coming up fairly soon. And quite a few of these are open. Most of those there are taken up. I'm pretty sure this big building to the right here is open, it's vacant. That's for lease right there, that little building. Quote unquote little. This light usually takes a while, so I can take some more time to readjust here. Yeah, I'm not sure how this one's turning out. I'll get better at the dash cam. And normally, a lot of times the camera will be turned back to me as well. Right now, I've just got this huge lens in the lens hood that I want to keep on there for protection that is actually bumping up against the windshield is the issue right now. I want to get a slightly higher angle. All right. All right, this right here, this Jefferson Underground, that entire office warehouse is vacant. That's like the ultimate like pinnacle of what we could be if we had a space that big. It's only 2 floors, despite how big it is. It's got a really tall first floor with just a ton of space. That's the warehouse part, and then there's offices on the second floor. Man, if we had a space like that, we could build a set for technology videos with like a dedicated computer, so I, don't have to worry about closing all my stuff and checking over all my files and making sure nothing personal or private is on the screen before I start recording. We could have a dedicated set just for live streaming that's got all the webcams and stuff set up and for that, with a table and stuff for doing gaming streams, set computers on them. We could have dedicated space for just having our desks to edit, and that can be separate from what's normally on camera. We could do so much with that much space, and there would be room for other people for me to bring in and or hire, as it's becoming clear to me I'm going to have to do if I want help. An office warehouse space like that would be so helpful. And it would be such an improvement over what we got right now. Of course, even just a smaller office space would give us some of those benefits, some of those advantages of having more space than we do right now, for sure. Not only to have room to edit and stuff, but also to have room for sets, for all the different content that we make. Now we're going over a bridge. Oh, I need to get over a lane too. This guy with his blinker on behind me reminded me that I need to get to the left a lane, now that I've showed you that. And of course that'll be fun now that we're actually in St. Louis. Let me turn the camera a bit now so you can see everything, or at least a little bit more, as we cross this bridge. This is St. Louis. This is the part of it that I come through right now. It's funny, I actually didn't see this section of St. Louis the entire first semester I was going to the school, because I was approaching from a different direction. I was approaching more from the west for the entire first semester, and now I approach St. Louis from the south with this house that I've been living in this semester. Alright, and now I'll get over. Okay, a lot of these spaces are open too, by the way. And there's actually a neat startup shop, or a startup-like office space that's specifically meant for small businesses to come in, tech-related small businesses. They've got an obelisk that's got a bunch of ones and zeros on it. It's decoration in front of them, right there, on the right. Do you see that right there, right across from where we are on the right, with that glass panel on the corner? That entire thing, that was a startup incubator type project. And they had one business in there for a while, I know, on the right side, but the entire left side was still available. Yeah, it looks like the Avatara sign is still up on the right side. So a business has that right wing of it, or at least part of that white ring. Nobody's got the left wing right now. But that is specifically, that was built for tech startups. So if I wanted to pitch Nerd on the Street as a startup, and pretend like we haven't been doing this for 5.5 years, then we might be able to get something like that, which would be probably still going to be just as expensive as one of the places I showed you on the way here, but probably less expensive than surrounding areas here downtown. But yeah, you can see the for lease sign right there in the front. I always love seeing those for lease signs, because I want there to still be places open when I finally am ready to get something. There was another for lease sign from another building. There's a tiny building right behind this blue car. The blue car probably entirely blocked. Thanks, SUV. But there was a smaller building that was entirely available. There were several smaller buildings actually that are just completely vacant right there. Let's see how we're doing on time. 7:45, okay, I'm gonna make it. That timing is perfectly acceptable. I was a little worried with how janky I've been driving due to this, and there's actually a police station right on the left side of across this street here. This light always takes forever though, and I don't know why it doesn't have left turn yield. This direction just never has yield for left turn. Makes no sense to me. And this is the efficiency of St. Louis streets. Nobody's using the green light. We got all those cars piled up waiting for the red light to turn green. There we go. All right. So that's our turn to go. And here's where we get into the places I don't really want to be, because this is just like, this is getting into ghetto territory. All right, I think we stopped recording at some point there, and I might not have noticed it. Honestly, I have no idea what just happened, but we made it to school, so there's my first drive to school. I'm not doing this again tomorrow. I really need to find a mount for my phone, because this camera is way too big for that, but yeah, a security guard could probably tell something was up there when I had to wave and then immediately catch my falling camera falling from the dashboard. Hey, if you want to see a better version of that, though, join the Nerd Club, because like I said, most of these vlogs are going to be Nerd Club exclusive. This will be the public one, and then after this, they'll all be Nerd Club exclusive. So I will record a better one of these eventually, and put it in the vlog. Just go ahead and join. You'll be able to see that when it comes out. For now, though, thanks for tuning in to the first episode of the Nerd on the Street experience. I'm so excited to share even more of this stuff with you guys. I'm Jacob Kaufman with Nerd on the Street. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.